Well, but views turn into checks.
But see, here's what I thought. Since we're actually doing this whole flipping homes thing, I really would like to do flipping homes on there and show how impressive it is to have the younger kids, when they actually gain a skill, how much work they can do.
Yeah,
because there is an impressive amount of lacking in our...
I think you put too much wine in your glass. Look at that. That thing is like... There's no room to breathe in there. You can't get your nose in it.
I couldn't see from the angle. Joel was holding me down.
Yeah.
Hey, is this Abby's?
That's Rachel's. Oh, yeah, that's Abby.
Okay.
Are we really filming now?
In a minute. Well, I'll cut all this out. So.
Oh, this is filming?
Maybe I'll put this on my Homestead channel or something. Bloopers. Hey everybody, it's Zach again, newtutor.com, coming in and making a video for you today, and I'm with Chris from Shalom Acres.
Hello, how's everybody doing?
He's on YouTube again.
Yes, it's been a while.
Right now, you're on YouTube. See, you're back.
Yes, I am back on Zach's channel.
Yeah.
I haven't found the time yet for our channel, but we'll see. Maybe there'll be time to come for that.
He'll get there.
I have plans for at least explaining maybe where our family's at here.
He'll get there.
In life.
He'll get there. All right. So you just got back from Israel and we had a great time today. You explaining all the great stuff you saw. Had a nice presentation. You sent me these books from HaYovel, and so just a really amazing testimony about your experience there. And everyone who comes back from the land over there has a great testimony, and everyone loves to hear about the experiences. So you brought back with you some wines that we're tasting today.
We did, yes. There's actually a couple different wines here, and they're actually from the wineries where we actually harvested grapes in their vineyards. It was a great experience, wonderful people, and not only that, just the land and seeing how it is actually coming back to life compared to some of the other harsh areas is just truly phenomenal what they're doing. I am just truly excited for that country.
And so you explained about how green it's becoming over there. Is that because of irrigation, or?
They do have a large amount of irrigation just because in the summertime they do not get any moisture, real precipitation. But one thing they do have, which helps them out a lot, because they're in the higher elevations, they do get a lot of moisture in the air, which is almost enough, be like a heavy dew. Mm-hmm. And that heavy dew, you can see it actually dripping off the plants in the morning, but by 9 o'clock it's all gone just because the heat's starting to come in.
It was a few years ago. Some of the HaYovel boys, the Waller family, some of their boys put together a video. I remember seeing this a number of years ago where they had showed this creek, and it was something that was normally a dry bed creek, and because of the rains that they were getting, or the way that the country and their engineers were working, they were allowing them to be able to harness this water so that this creek was no longer dry anymore. It was flowing with water. It just shows you how the life was returning back to the land, which is truly I mean, you and I both understand, because we do a lot of agriculture. We're growing a lot of things. We know what it is, what a blessing it is to take something, work with it with your work of your hands, and see the blessings of it, and knowing that rain is a blessing, that water is a blessing. And so when I saw that video years ago, it spoke to me, and I was forever a fan of HaYovel. And then using the verses, maybe talk about the verses, that they talk about, and the prophecies.
Well, there's several verses. One of them here's on my shirt is, let's see if you can see it. It's Isaiah 61:5. It's one of those pieces where it talks specifically about the land coming back as far as green, and the vineyards will be there, and also the plowsmen coming and harvesting the grapes. I think I might mess that up a little bit.
Well, I'll put the real verse in the description below.
Sweet, that sounds good. So,
no, but there's a number of those verses.
Yes, there are a number of those verses. One of the pieces that I want to talk to first is about what you described as far as the water and how that is affecting the agriculture over there. So we harvested in one field over there. That's typically about a 6 to 7 ton field, this vineyard area. Not only this year did it overproduce that on the final harvest, where we produced almost 8 tons, they had to thin those vineyards out 2 different times. And the reason why they had to thin those out was because there was so much fruit on them. That fruit was going to either not ripen at the same time, or it was going to actually cause mold, because the clusters were just so stacked on top of each other. And that stacking then doesn't allow any airflow through, and then that would allow molding. It's just so amazing to actually touch it with your own hands and see it, and then understand how these people are growing truly in rocks.
Yeah, it's crazy. I mean, some of the pictures he shows with these, where they're actually having the vines, it's amazing. How anything grows at all.
Yes, it definitely shows that the Lord's hands are in it all, because otherwise it would be nowhere. When you look at that hillside, as my daughter says, you look at that hillside, you'd think, wow, that's a great place to plant grapes. You think, no, that's a place I want to stay away from. But over there, they actually say, yes, this is it, and this is where the land is coming to life. Because we actually pick grapes on the mountain of Samaria, and just the Mount of Blessings, just truly amazing area. And that's kind of... it's all over the Bible as far as prophecy.
Absolutely, yeah. It's really cool stuff when you actually can be there and see it happening. Very, very cool stuff. So the wines he brought back, what we're having right now is a Shiraz Merlot mix, blend. Blend is the right word. And it's pretty good. I like it. It's a dry wine. I love dry wines. Are you a dry wine guy or more sweet?
I like them both. Depends on what I'm eating.
This one here is, I love the bottle, how the bottle is shaped. Can you see that? The bottom of the bottle. And this is a sweet Cabernet Sauvignon, which blows me away because that's not a sweet type wine grape. So I don't know how they did that, but that was really interesting.
We haven't opened that bottle yet, but I had some while we were over there in Israel. And that's why I brought a couple bottles back. That is an amazing wine that my wife, I know, is going to truly just enjoy.
She likes the sweets.
She does. And Turo Winery, their grapes were actually, I believe, some of the first ones on the mountain of Samaria. Just a little history on background is there were really no grapes planted in Israel back until 1996. Mm-hmm. So they really didn't start harvesting anything as far as production until the year 2000. So just amazing to see how far they've come. Mm-hmm. In that short period of time.
Well, now then you mentioned, this leads me here. You mentioned something about how a lot of these grapes that they have traced back the roots, the cuttings, actually the true roots of vineyards, and a lot of it came from that area, the Sumerian area, and Israel, in the land of Israel, and then they were brought from the Romans back to Europe and to Italy.
Yeah, from what I understand from history, and while we were over there, there's a large understanding that the mountains in that area used to flourish with vineyards. You can tell just by the actual natural wine presses that you would see.
The ancient wine presses in the stone, right?
In the stone, yes.
Right.
Around Shiloh alone, there were over 300 that were just found on the surface. No 300. Excavation, nothing at all.
That's crazy.
So we all know that the tabernacle was there for 369 years. And it also means that there had to be a large push to, have all the wine there for the all the feasts and those types of things, and for the priests. So if all those things were there, and then they disappeared, well, where did they go and what happened? But the understanding that I have is it was during the Roman period. The Romans came in, took the good vines, moved them back over to Europe. And then after they were done, they pretty much salted the land.
And we just read in the Torah portion, the blessings and curses. And if I remember right, some of the curses was that you would be taken spoil of by your enemies, and they would take your vineyards and take them back, and you would not enjoy that any longer.
Right. You'd essentially then go back to being the tail instead of the head.
It almost fulfills prophecy in that regard too. It's amazing. I am really excited. One of these days I'm going to get over to the land, and I was teasing him earlier because he was telling us how hard he was working for HaYovel, and I was like, Chris, you're not selling me, because they really do work hard, and it's a labor of love, really is what it is.
Truly a labor.
Yeah, and I've gotten hate mail from people who tell me, oh, Zach, this is just a scam. They're just trying to get free labor over there. You know what? The amount of experience and what you learn is priceless, for a trip like that.
Oh, it is, and for what me and my children learned was amazing. The things that we can take back just simply for our own small vineyard is just experience enough. It was worth the trip. But to see in the education how much the Bible came to life, just that simple understanding of me being a very visual type person, how I can take that now and apply it. and share that with other people. You can't do that when you just simply read a book. I mean, how do some of the best people get great at what they do? They actually go out and physically do it.
Yeah.
I mean, they don't sit there and read about it and then become expert readers. No, they actually physically touch it with their hands, go do it. And that's what I like about HaYovel. They're not only taking the words, they're taking them to literally the words, taking them out in the community there in Israel and doing wonderful things.
Wisdom, true wisdom, is gained through experience.
Yep.
Experience. So anyway, here's the deal. We're going to go ahead and put some links in the description below of some places you can go to learn more about HaYovel. Also, I think there was a Buy Israel link where you can go and maybe support some of the people that HaYovel work with. I'm not sure all the details on that, but...
Yeah, it's mainly just farmers in that area that are really trying to look for a niche market by allowing them to stay home. Similar to what a lot of the homesteaders and other stuff like us are looking for, is that opportunity to not have to go out and try to market a whole bunch. If you have other people that truly love your products, they'll come to you for those products.
Right.
And when they come to you, that allows you to have the opportunity to do what you do best and then also spend time with your family.
Exactly. So we'll leave those links in the description below. Check them out. And, man, I really appreciate you being on the channel. When are you going to get back on YouTube?
One of these days, Zach. I appreciate it. Thanks, brother.
People are always asking, all right, guys, go home, read your Bible. Thanks. Okay.
It's just dried out.
Yeah.
Or you're gonna water it down.
See the front of it?
Oh, you're good. Good.
Chris, you want us to let it breathe?
You're going to break the cork.
That's
Yeah,
coming
You didn't screw it in all the way.
That's coming out. Oh, y'all are being wild.
Now for sure.
You know how many of these over?
I don't know. You better edit that. I mean, I've never seen anybody take that long to open up.
I'll do. It'll be nice and smooth.
Let it breathe 10 minutes. Come on.
No, you gotta put it in the glass. Yeah. Wait. We need a real glass with this.
No, you let the bottle
You
breathe
do it,
first.
yeah. Take a video with a non-real glass. Come on.
Put these in, solo cups.
Yeah, let's do it. Yeah, can you get a red solo cup? Here, we're going out loud. Oh man, that's what I'm talking about. Oh wait, did you open the? There might be dust in the bottom. I'm sure there's dust in there.
Hold on.
Yeah, I better wipe mine out. I want to make sure.
Wait. What do you mean? Is it dirty?
There might be.
Yeah, there's a little dust in there. Here.
Good grief. We're like a bunch of... We're from Arkansas!
Here, my glass is clean. You can use it.
That's all right. We're filming this in Arkansas. Yeah, it's all right. Most people just use solo cups.
Zach drinks rainwater. What are we even talking about?
It's smarter than all of us. I'm gonna keep this in my pocket so that way I can use it for the next video. Oh wait, you might have put too much in that one.
That's not too much. That's good.
Oh, I don't know.
I know what I'm doing.
You already try it? If you tried it, you don't know what you're doing.
That's good. That's real good. All right.
You want to film that one? Mm-hmm.
We're good. I got plenty of footage.